Namaskar parents. Parents, in today's video, I want to tell you that a lot of parents they come to me and they tell me that ma'am, we have been doing speech for so many months. There has been no progress. Should I start speech therapy for my child? So, see, there are certain prerequisites for the child to obtain speech. And the most important prerequisite is imitation. When people come to me, their first complaint that the parents have is that my child is not speaking. This is the most common complaint. The second is that my child doesn't respond when I speak to him, or he doesn't turn back to look when I speak to my child. Then I have to inquire, does your child imitate? Does your child copy your actions? If you are sweeping the floor with a broom, will your child also come and try to do the same? If you are using a rolling pin to make chapatis, will your child also try to imitate? If you are cooking, will your child also take a spoon and a kadhai and try to pretend to be doing the same? Right? This is a very important milestone, imitation. And the second most important thing is vocabulary. People come and tell me that my child is, when he wants water, he comes and gives me a glass. When he wants to eat something, he gets a katori or a bowl and shows me. But does your child know that a glass is called a glass? He knows that if I have to drink water, I need this utensil. But does he know that it's called a glass? Does he know that if he wants to eat, if the mother is saying, get me bowl, does he know that what a bowl is? Does he know that the lady who's serving him, who's loving him, who's caring for him is supposed to be called mummy? Does he respond when you say go to papa or go to daddy? Does your child respond? So, you need to have your targets correct. When a child comes to me, my first few targets are sitting tolerance, eye contact, tracking abilities, and imitation. This is my first target. When the child starts to imitate, learning becomes very easy. Teaching becomes very easy. Right? So these are my first four targets. Then comes vocabulary building, a lot of vocabulary. Tell your child what is what, the nouns, the objects that he's regularly using at home. Show him, point him, tell him again and again what it is. That comes next. Then comes command followings, the receptive part of language. And then comes expression, expressive speech and language. Right? So you just can't jump from no eye contact to speech. No. It will not happen like this. A very important milestone in between is imitation, which has to be acquired. Okay, parents? Otherwise, your child may acquire speech, but that will not be consistent. It will be more like delayed echolalia. That no, ma'am, my child can speak, but it's all on his mood. He can speak rhymes which he has heard a few days back or a few hours back. He will speak when he wants to speak, not when you ask him to recite. Well, that is delayed echolalia. That is not proper speech and language. Okay? So work on these milestones first. Now when we teach imitation, there are usually three types of imitation we take up. Action imitation, object use imitation, and verbal imitation. I've made a demonstration video on the same at the end. Right? So at home also, take 5 actions. Chalo, clap your hands, hands up, stamp your feet, left, right, left, roll your hands, pull your ears. 5 actions. Initially, you'll have to hold your child's hand and make him do it. He will not do it on his own. But slowly he will start following. He will start clapping when you clap, right? So when he knows that, okay, mother is clapping or two children are clapping, he will also clap. Slowly he will start understanding that, okay, when we do this, mummy says clap. So when she says clap, I'm supposed to do this. So you're building up on his vocabulary, right? So this is how you're supposed to take it up. Take not 5, object use is difficult. Take 3 object use. 3. Sweeping the floor with a broom or a jhadu. Using a utensil, a bowl and a spoon to eat, right? And maybe you can take up something like a very simple task like hanging clothes for drying, okay? And whatever task you're doing, if you're teaching your child to sweep, tell him, hold the broom and tell him, child, this is a broom. Tell him again and again and again. If you're using a bowl and a spoon and you're teaching him that, okay, come on, mummy is eating from the bowl, you also take and eat. Tell him, this is a bowl. Spoon. Do it again and again and again and again. Okay. So you are helping your child to learn imitation as well as you're doing vocabulary building for your child, right? And take 5 verbal imitations. I've made a complete set of videos on what to start when you're doing verbal imitation. I'll put the link in the description box. Please start it. Vowels we take up, bilabials we take up, diphthongs we take up. Do it. Do vowels. Do, come on, you also do. Mother is doing, the child should also do. Some children, they don't take out the sound, but they imitate the action. Okay, it is just a matter of practice and some time that the child will start taking out the sound also. But you'll have to be consistent for that. So work on your child's imitation skills. That is very important. And it need not always be a session. Whatever you are doing, make him also copy it. If you've come out from somewhere, you remove your shoes. The child removes his shoes. You pick up your shoes. Make the child pick up his shoes and come on, we'll both go and keep it on the shoe rack. That is imitation. If you are kneading the dough, give him also a little flour in a plate and sit down and do it in front of him. Take his hands and make him do that action. If you are making chapatis or rotis, give him a belan, a rolling pin, and tell him, come on, you also roll it. You will have to assist in everything initially, but slowly the child will start observing, right? So whatever you do, involve him in your daily routine, right? We are lost, there's less time, we don't have time, that's okay. But whatever you have with your child, whatever you are doing, make your child also copy it, right? And when you do imitation, when you make your child imitate, you achieve a lot of other milestones. You work on the child's eye contact. You work on the child's response. You work on the child's listening skills. You work on the child's imitation. And you're giving your child vocabulary. So much is happening if you're teaching your child imitation. He is connected. If the child is imitating, the child is connected. His sensory issues, his behavioral issues will reduce. So parents, set your targets correctly, right? Do this at home. Take up these 5 action imitations, 3 object use imitations, 5 verbal imitations, and practice this consistently for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks and see how your child responds. There's a demonstration video at the end. That child is now 3 years old. I've been working with that child since he was 2 years old. After months and months of practice and stimulation, that child has achieved this. There is still a lot to achieve. But what I'm trying to tell you that this is not the result of a day, a month, a week. No, it is the result of multiple months. It takes time. Some children may imitate in a week's time, some may imitate in a month's time, some may imitate in a year's time. So we cannot stop. We have to be consistently at it. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Right, parents? So now please go ahead, watch the demonstration video. You'll really enjoy it. Like our video, share it, send us your feedback, subscribe to our channel, and let the Shakti spread. Vijay Bhava, Tatha Astu. Namaskar. Namaste. So we'll do a few action imitations. Chalo. Up, hands up. Vati. Okay. Down. Left. Left. Kara kara. Hand left. Right. Karo karo karo. Right. Roll your hands. Roll the roll. Roll slow. Fast. Fast karo. Fast. Okay, very good. Tap your shoulders. Tap, 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 tap. Very good. Tap your elbow. Elbow the elbow. Tap your elbow. You tap. Very good. Shabash. Okay, stamp your feet. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. Left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. High five. Basa. Sit down. Good. Very good. Give me your pointing finger. Good. So, action imitations. These are all action imitations. Chala Shuli, look here. Chala. Now, verbal imitation. Come on, follow teacher. आवाज कर. आवाज नहीं करो. जीप कर. Okay. The child is not doing verbal imitation. Even the action is okay. It is just a matter of practice. He will start repeating the sound also. चलो 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 करा. ओ आवाज कर. ओ E pointing finger. E अपने पे. E. Good. करा कर शुरू. ओके करो. हा कर शुरू. आवाज. Okay. Chi. Mama. Every verbal imitation here is accompanied by an action. The reason being, it is easier for the child to copy actions than only do verbal imitation, and at the same time when we do actions, we draw the child's attention towards us. Otherwise he will not look at me if I just sit and do, oh no. But because I do this, they have a tendency to look. Right? Here the child is doing very good action imitation, he does very good object imitation. Verbal, we are still working on him. Right? This is the result of almost 8 to 9 months of practice. Right? There's still a long way to go, but it takes time and the child gives the results. Right, parents? So now you go ahead and work with your child. Vijay. Chala Vijay ko kara. Vijay. त्यार हाँ दे. Bhava Tatha Astu. Namaste. Very good.